and welcome to Nug Cymek Review DC Comics, where once again, Nug and I will review DC Comics, talk about DC Comics, and that's it.
That's it. No other company?
Nope.
Even though we might be reading comics from other companies.
I mean, you might be, I'm not.
I read a couple.
I bleed DC.
So do I! But I'm reading a couple indie things.
Okay.
So that's fine.
I guess that's
read a lot of whatever the other company is. Let them have their movies. We've got ours coming soon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Buddy, I'm going to go crazy. Are we going to be in Sudbury for that?
We are, and hopefully Sudbury has a movie theater.
Hopefully Sudbury has, from what I understand
Sudbury
about
has
Dark
a
Knight.
movie theater.
I know it does.
Yeah.
But from what I understand about Dark Knight, you have to see it in a minimum 9D. That's the only thing I know for sure.
Minimum 9D.
IMAX 9D, the only way to see it. Guys, let's start with this week's comics because there's only a few. We might even sneak another one in. I'm really excited. Okay, Batman, the big annual, thick book, $4.99 for a lot of Night of Owls. Actually, you know what? Not a lot of owls in this.
Not a lot of
Which
owls.
I might be owled out for the month. I'm excited to see where the Batman story goes.
Yeah.
But just for the month, that's a lot of owls, bud.
We've been, I mean, you're probably reading a lot of the tie-ins as well. And Scott Snyder's epic run on Batman has been the Night of Owls. And here's the thing with this book. This annual is a great read.
It's excellent. It brings Mr. Freeze into continuity.
They make some changes to the
Couple
Mr.
of
Freeze
changes.
characters. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
I will. He's a girl now. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Some of the changes I was questioning with you is like...
We were talking it out like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He can do that now?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of prefer that my Mr. Freeze is kind of relegated to the suit, and that's kind of where he has
He's
his
like a frozen Iron Man. Out of the suit keeps him alive,
right?
Sort of,
and enhances his strength.
Sorry to mention the other company there, but yeah, like without the suit,
yeah,
I wasn't aware he could freeze with touch.
He can now.
Weird. No, I think once he gets the suit on, he can do it.
Well, I mean, there's some times where he'll touch the water pipes, and
he didn't freeze his doctor.
Yeah,
I mean, touched him the first time.
This is getting into very heavy nerd territory here, which we don't mind. We love to talk about it.
Who's watching? Nerds,
right?
Like us. Continue.
Okay. So this is one of those things where you can probably debate this till you're blue in the face about Mr. Freeze. It was one of those things where it was a choice. I don't mind it. No. I don't hate it. But I'm rating this. Great storyline. Loving Mr. Freeze. And I love, you know that we love Snyder's
I do too.
Owls.
I'm now a Bat fan.
Yeah. Because of it. No, she's now a Bat fan. But every time the Court of Owls was mentioned in this book, in my head I'm like, enough with the owls. And that's not to say that it's not a legitimate reason for the owls to be mentioned in this book. There's a legit reason. It's a great reason. It makes complete and total sense.
I kind of weirded out at the beginning though, where it was like an alarm goes off and one of the dudes at Arkham goes, "Oh man, is it the Talons again?" Like we all know what they are now. This has been one night of them all attacking and suddenly, oh man, those guys that we just heard about them again? What?
Yeah.
Garbage! At least that part of it. I was like, wait, what? They're old hat now?
Yeah.
They just showed up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When everything's spread out over like a year-long storyline, I mean, you kind of get the sense where it's actually only been a couple days in terms of knowing these talents.
Right.
But having said that, it's kind of weird. Is it the idea of this event owl fatigue? Has it set in? The problem is...
I haven't had owl fatigue since I was a kid.
Well, here's the thing, right? If event fatigue, it only... you always think, oh, it only works for bad books. But here is an exceptionally good book.
Yeah.
And we're still tired of owls.
But then there's only going to be owls in one book from now on.
Fantastic.
And technically the rest of Dick Grayson's life. But I look forward to now everybody's going to see the owls. Let's get it back. Let's rein it in. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing where the story goes.
I cannot wait for Snyder to wrap up his Batman.
I brought the hardcover collection of the first trade of the Batman on a gig I went on, a corporate gig. Yeah. And I handed it to my Marvel buddy in the back of the van. Yeah. So he read it and was just like, "This is awesome." So I was like, "Good. I'm not wrong. Yeah. This is awesome."
Yeah. I don't have
it's
any.
great, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the Batman run.
I don't have any Marvel buddies.
Oh man, they're just enemies. I love it. Okay, up next, another annual, which I find funny because there hasn't even been a year of these comics yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
For the Animal Man.
Yeah.
Guest starring Swamp Thing. Oh, but wait. A different Animal Man and a different Swamp Thing.
I love this book.
This book was the best.
Fantastic.
Oh, what a great read.
And
gives you like little hints of what's coming.
A lot of foreshadowing. Also, this idea of history repeating itself. One of the elements, I'm not spoiling it for you, but I really love the fact that they were talking about there's a balance between the three.
There really is. And I liked one needs the other, needs the other, needs the other.
Yes.
And there's a speech in there where it's like, this needs this needs this, and this
Yeah.
needs this.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why wouldn't you just, there's a hint there. Yeah. In that little ellipse, there's some sort of hint.
I love it. I mean, Jeff Lemire and Scott Snyder have been killing it on their titles.
Yes.
Swamp Thing and Animal Man have continued to be great reads. And this, and again, event fatigue, right? We're talking about something, they've been building up to this storyline.
But I'm not, this is like a preview.
It's so good.
Where you find out that, oh, not only has this happened before, it's happened a whole big bunch.
Yeah.
And if you had any idea how this battle's going to go, here's a hint.
Yeah. There's a nice tease of a future apocalypse that is just great. And I was saying to you, I'm zombied out.
Oh,
right, in terms of...
For sure.
But this story has all the classic parts of what makes zombie stories great.
Yeah.
But in a fresh and new way. It's almost like, if I want, they talk about a zombie fix or a vampire fix. If I want my zombie fix, I go to here. Because it's just a different take on the rot, the decay. I just love it.
It's really great.
This annual was definitely, I think, the book.
Oh, for sure.
Of the week.
For sure, book of the week.
Yeah.
Of the new 52 titles, for sure, book of the week.
Yeah.
Here we go with the Ravagers, a spin-off, speaking of event fatigue, of the Culling. Now, the Culling hit those 3 teen books, Titans, Lost, and Superboy. And the Culling, I have read the whole thing.
Yes.
The Culling wasn't terrible. Wasn't the best thing in the world.
No.
It set up a bunch of hints for the future, but I found that when the big bad guy Harvest was talking, he was doing a bad impression of the Emperor from Jedi, and didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He was like, go fight my puppets, excellent, and then it happens and he goes, just like I planned. Wait, all your little minions got loose.
Yeah.
People escaped, you didn't do anything, just like I planned. Well, then why have it? Then why do it if they're just going to get away and that's just what you wanted? Why even bring them together?
As a test, I guess.
A test.
Proving their mettle.
But here's the thing I love about this. The Ravagers, from the pages of Teen Titans. They showed up in
the
last book, maybe the last 2 tops.
Here's the thing. The thing that I was enjoying most about Teen Titans, Superboy, even Legion Lost to a certain degree, was the character interactions. And I would argue that one would read those books because of the soap opera elements of teenagers, as you put it, in love for Legion.
Legion has always been teenagers in love.
The Teen Titans, it's a bunch of very different personalities, different characters coming together to solve crime. And I always think that the plot line is usually secondary. I'm not saying all the time, but in that's generally what draws people to those books.
Legion was always young heroes in love.
Yeah.
And then the Great Darkness Saga happened, and then you found out, there's a story here too.
Right.
That's not the case with the Culling.
No. That's the problem.
Just an excuse for a bunch of kids to fight.
And the fighting took over from the relationships.
Yeah.
I think it was done best in Teen Titans because we've spent the most time with those characters.
I think you and I know it's done best on Young Justice, the cartoon.
Young Justice is great. I mean, this is kind of a...
Whatever, it's still in DC and all the characters we love.
True. Young Justice is
and
great.
Kind of versions of them we all love.
Right.
So it's the best. But this book is...
It's okay.
It's okay. It's a whole bunch of new characters. There's a Terra. Fairchild does not wear this costume in the book. Don't get excited, fellas. I do have a big beef with this, though.
Okay.
My big beef is, if you look at Young Justice on the Cartoon Network, coming to Canada... July 1st? July 4th, my mistake. they've been really trying the last couple years to streamline all their product.
Right.
So that the Superman you see in the movie is the Superman you see in the comics, is the Superman you see in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Beast Boy here is red, and spoilers, Season 2, Beast Boy, Young Justice, green. Fix it! Fix this! Because green Beast Boy is how we all remember him, is the origin of the character, he's green.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a whole new thing, great. But then why is Blue Beetle the same in the whole new thing? Why is Superboy a version?
Sometimes change for the sake of change is not reason enough for that change.
No, keep them the same color.
Yeah.
If it was a misprint and you guys went, well, then why not? You should have kept it the way it was, so that the colorblind can enjoy Beast Boy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Beast Boy is like, Superman.
No, it's not like you made Superman's costume yellow all of a sudden.
Right. Or took the...
Relax. We're not talking about that. Okay, but, surprise, we're going to review another comic this week.
I love it.
And I said to you before you read it, this is the best Superman title in all of DC Comics right now.
Right.
And you said, we'll see, and read it, and...
It's great.
Guys, Superman Family Adventures. I cannot say enough awesome things about this book.
The thing is, it's aimed at a kiddie audience, but it's hilarious. There's enough in there for adults to laugh
But
at.
it's also the new Superman.
Yeah.
It's the new I got an attitude Superman for kids.
Yeah.
Any kid could pick this up and go, that's a Superman I'm interested in reading, and then pick up any of the other Superman books and go, either, what is this, or where is he?
Yeah.
But this book is phenomenal.
That's always great when a kid picks up a Superman book and goes, "Where's Superman?"
Yeah, but this
it's great.
Is awesome.
But the thing I love about this is there's so many characters. I mean, it is Superman Family Adventures.
Oh, buddy,
so
everyone's in it.
Everybody in it.
Perry and Lois and Jimmy, and then you see Superboy, Supergirl, Crypto, Fuzzy, the mouse, and Lex Robots.
Yeah.
It's so great, but Tiny Titans started the same way.
Yeah.
Tiny Titans was a great little thing, and then every character, like, dead characters are in Tiny Titans.
Yes. And this was actually my first, usually I don't pick up the kid titles that DC puts out. So this was my first experience with that. Really liked it, really a lot of fun. It's worth checking it out.
It's really, the first issue. It's the first issue, guys, for sure, and you've got to know a kid, and if you buy it and read it, and then if you know a kid, give it to that kid.
Yeah.
They will have a blast. It's such a great book.
It's great.
All right, so real quick, we should do a Red Tornado watch.
Oh, again?
Well, people were mad we just did a weather scroll.
That's right.
One time,
okay, let's do it.
Guys, it's time for Red Tornado watch. Hey, there's no Red Tornado this week. I'm hoping that in the new Earth 2 comics, there's going to be a Red Tornado.
You know what? I mean, I'm excited about Earth 2, so anything's possible.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters that we love has shown up in Earth 2, so...
And Red Tornado's pretty big on Young Justice, so let's see some...
He's great
what
on
do they call that?
Justice.
Streamlining? Let's see some streamlining, some continuity
a
between your shows.
cohesive
Yes, yes. Synergy? Is that a word? Let's see some synergy and bring Red Tornado into the comics. Alright, now we thought we didn't have a lot of comics this week, and the Red Tornado watch is always short.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this top 10. I have a top 10 that I'm reading, that I'm loving, and you have a top 10.
Right.
And now, we agree on a bunch of these, and we'll go down the list and agree, and then we'll mention the ones that aren't on each other's lists.
Yeah.
So, do you want to get your piece of paper and take it? He wrote it down, guys. It's official. I
used ink.
The ink.
In no particular order.
No.
Aquaman.
Oh.
Okay, this is with...
There's a best-selling Aquaman title, and
crazy.
it's kick-ass.
I never really liked Aquaman. I mean, I liked him, but I never liked him as a main character.
I liked him in JLA, like Morrison's run on JLA was cool.
Yeah.
And then they turned him into this weird water hand dude when he came back from...
Yeah, I mean, I always preferred Hook Guy.
Yeah, I like Hook Guy.
But I was never...
I love Aquaman on Brave and the Bold.
I was very comfortable with his position
Yes.
in the DC universe as a second-tier character. He was... But now, with what Jeff has done, I'm enjoying the book.
Yes.
Am I surprised? You know what? Jeff made a Green Lantern lover out of me. So
Coming
I'm not really
up,
surprised.
I'm not surprised that he took something like, he made Green Lantern lover out of me as well. Mm-hmm. He's making an Aquaman lover out of me. Yeah. Based on what we've seen in the Free Comic Book Day book, can he make a vibe lover out of you?
See, there's stuff that's difficult, like making me like Aquaman. That's difficult. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
But that's one of those decisions where it's like, vibe?
Now,
really?
If you go online,
vibe?
Go online.
No, hold on, one more time.
One more.
Vibe?
If you replace really with vibe, I'm going to be on board with you from now on. Go online, everybody do this after this show, or do it in another tab in your browser, and I'm going to make him do this after we're done recording. Okay. Look for the Cartoon Network short featuring Vibe.
Okay.
Okay? It's 80s breakdancer Vibe. He's wearing, like, his outfit looks like the old Vancouver Canucks Flying Z, or Flying V. It's awesome, and it's so funny.
Okay.
So, and it's great as a short.
Yeah.
And it is definitely, you gotta see it.
Okay.
And then when I saw that, and I went, oh God, maybe he can do something with this. Just because it was so fun.
Yeah.
And if the vibe, I mean, it's new comics, so he has to be darker. But they'll do something with vibe, and it'll be very interesting. I think. So Aquaman, if you can make Aquaman, you can make vibe. Come on.
Vibe?
Yeah, man. Okay, next on your list.
Okay, next on my list, in no particular order, Wonder Woman.
Oh, everybody bitches about they changed their origin.
It's a significant change.
I understand it's a significant change, but why don't you wait till the whole arc's over and maybe it turns out that a bad guy was lying?
Yeah, I mean,
so relax until you read the whole story.
True. I mean, you always want to, keep your negative opinions to
I'm just
yourself.
saying, and if it's not a big fool job, if it's not a big snow job by a bad guy, who cares? It's great.
And that's the thing. Is it a big change? Yes. Is the change very good? Yes. I'm really enjoying it. I love the art in it. I love what Azrael is doing with Wonder Woman and the lore. I actually like the change for the first time.
I do too.
Like Aquaman, I actually care about her backstory.
Yeah.
I actually never cared about Wonder Woman's backstory. She came from an island. I didn't really care much.
Great.
But the layers that they're doing with this new Wonder Woman, fantastic. Really like it. For the purest Wonder Woman fans out there, do you have my sympathy? 100%. Because this is very different.
It is different.
It's something. Change is hard for people to accept sometimes, especially with these iconic characters.
For the living example.
If you want empathy, this is where you look.
But I'm going to say this: all the negativity I've seen online about Wonder Woman has been you've taken her origins and changed them. Let's go back to her origins. Well, having read the Wonder Woman origin, where does she come from? S&M.
Yeah.
Do your history, dummies. Yeah. Do your homework and check things out, because if you really want her back to being a bondage slave, then you know what?
And that's the problem when you keep digging deeper and deeper into where things come from. It's like, look, I know how Superman started, but the Superman I love is not necessarily the Superman how he started. It was along the journey. It had changed quite a bit by the time I came on board. I mean, you're not going to change my mind. I always think the concept of Superman works as an older character, someone that kids look up to. Yep. You make him young, that's automatically going to change that perception of Superman.
For sure it is.
But however, with Wonder Woman, significant change. It's different. Relax. Calm down.
Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. And you know what? Nothing lasts forever in terms of comics. And it's going to change.
And we've said it a million times on the show. We're sorry that fictional thing you love is different and you don't like it, but take solace in the fact that it's fictional.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay.
Just look at Greece. They probably can't even afford comics there.
Oh, I thought you meant the musical. What's up?
Okay, so let's go into the Green Lantern titles. On my top 10 list, I actually have both of them.
Well, take it easy. There are technically four Green Lantern titles.
Right. You know what? That's 100%. That's 100% accurate. There's 4 Green Lantern titles, but
you only read 2.
I only read 2, and
Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. Green Lantern is the last issue exposing the secret of the Indigo Clan was unbelievable.
Loved it.
And Green Lantern Corps is getting really good. It's an army drama.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoy about it. It's a better army drama than, say, another army book they may have out right now.
That's right. Yeah. Or the one they had out previously, before it was canceled. Yeah. I'm really liking the first arc of Green Lantern, the Sinestro arc, was great. Yep. I enjoyed it. But the Revelation I mentioned, I think, before, It's got me again. Hook, line, sinker. Like, in terms of
that
last issue, I was like, Aquaman and Green Lantern, they were kind of, Aquaman was kind of this, and then Jeff did that, and I'm like, yep, I'm on board Green Lantern again, just like that. And in Green Lantern Corps, Tomasi's just doing a great job with that. They're going into the trial of Jon Stewart, which...
He's gonna... whatever.
Right.
It's not gonna go well.
Green Lantern, 100% of my top 10. Green Lantern Corps, I would have put it at number 10, with some, perhaps a tie with, I'm gonna say this, I, Vampire.
A great book.
Yeah.
A great book.
Great book. We're kind of worried about I, Vampire.
I think so. When he joins another team, which we'll get to in a bit, when he joins another team, you feel that he might not have a title for very long.
Yeah, so I mean, that has been a consistently great book for me. Yep. So if I could pick 11 or like a half, 9.5, it would be Green Lantern Corps, I, Vampire in the top 10. Moving on, All-Star Western.
Oh boy.
Now, we actually forgot to mention All-Star Western the last review show, and that is blasphemy, because we talk about All-Star Western like it is in the top 5 books.
Well, I think part of the thing is why you would skip it is because it goes without saying.
That's the thing. It's like, duh.
Yeah, like it's All-Star Western for sure that's in the pile. Can I get 2 of those?
Yeah.
One to frame and one to read? Like, it's that good.
Yeah, so I mean, it continues to be great.
And what I loved about the Night of Owls tie-in was it was
a side thing.
It was a side thing.
Of course it would be.
Oh.
But that was, see, I was worried about that, where it's like, well, is it gonna completely take over the issue? But it doesn't. It's just a side thing because they're supposed to be made of myth.
Yes.
So it shouldn't have been like a huge thing that everyone would see.
No, they were just getting started.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic. So,
and the other thing I love is the backup stories.
The
Nighthawk and Cinnamon is great, but did you see the last issue? Who the next one's going to be?
I did. Remind me.
Batlash.
Batlash.
So excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
So, I mean, All-Star Western is obviously a top 10, and, like I said, it's consistently great.
Absolutely.
Consistently great work. And then I've got a lot of Bat titles on here.
Yes, you do.
I have, let's go through the 3 of them. Batman.
Yep. Which we've gone on and on.
Batman and Robin.
Batman as well as Robin.
As well. And Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Red Hood and the Outlaws always gives me a laugh, and I'm glad you put it on your list. Yeah. I love Red Hood and the Outlaws.
And again, it's another book that gets a lot of hate, but like you said, it always makes me laugh.
Yes.
And it entertains me. And seeing bad guys that are still charming. I mean, they're outlaws, right? So they don't... sometimes they're jerks, sometimes they're assholes.
Yeah, they kind of...
They could be shallow.
They dig on each other.
Yeah, I just love that.
Yeah,
it's so different.
Fun.
You know exactly what you're getting. And in terms of the artwork, is it Rocafort?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really... This guy, I knew he had done Madame Mirage for a different company that I never read. But his work on Red Hood has been...
Oh, it's been fun. And I like the last issue had Jason jumping out of the ship through a window into an apartment, and just that sequence was so cool.
Very different. Very, very nice.
So cool.
Batman and Robin, again, Tomasi, I think he's just killing it with the relationship with Bruce and Damian. Really liked it. Thought the last issue, again, the owl fatigue that we're talking about, I thought that it was kind of a sidestep.
Remind me, I gotta go to the doctor and get checked for owl fatigue.
Yeah, and then Batman. We talk about Batman all the time.
It's so great.
It's so great.
It's so great.
Again, with Batman, it's kind of like, duh, Snyder. It's in good hands with Snyder.
Yep. And then you've got 2 left, and you have to talk about them together.
So I'm thinking Animal Man.
As we said with the annual, these 2 books are coming together in a very natural way. Mm-hmm. It's not being forced like other crossovers we've seen.
Yeah.
And it fits. It's fitting.
Yeah.
They're fighting the same problem from 2 different sides.
Yeah.
And in the annual, we see what it's going to be like when they work together. Hopefully they can work together. Yeah. But it's 2 very different books, because one is about a reluctant, like, am I going to be the Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
And the other one is, I have to protect my family.
Family first.
Family first.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I really like it, and if you've been following our shows, we always
love it.
Have been saying that this is the top of our list. Let's go through.
My list is very similar.
Yeah.
My remaining ones, I'm really enjoying The Flash. I love what Manapool's doing as an artist and a writer, and I like that DC is taking a chance. I'm not saying on Manapool, but I'm just saying in general, letting artists be writers, like Lemire and Manapool, letting them do that. Yeah. I think that's a great thing. And Flash is great. Every time I pick up Flash, I'm like, how different is this paneling going to be? How will the name The Flash be in the title? Or in the panels somehow, what the artwork. It's just so fun.
The art in that book is amazing.
It's so fun. Also on my list, Resurrection Man.
Yeah.
I am 100% behind Resurrection Man. It only dipped a little with this crossover with Suicide Squad, just because Suicide Squad is terrible. And while we were doing this, I had an idea.
Okay.
Put Deadshot on the Outlaws.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
See?
That'd be interesting.
He's on board?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
But then we'd lose King Shark and Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
And I do pick it up and flip through it to just see King Shark and what's happening with Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
But I am really on board with Deadshot, and all Suicide Squad is doing is making me miss Secret Six.
And that's the thing with some of these rebooted titles.
They're making me miss
other titles.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Anything else?
I do want to mention, if I could go 11, I would add, it'd be a tie for two of the most fun books. And if I could have one and add a fun book, it would be between Frankenstein and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Demon Knights.
Right.
I love those books. Demon Knights gives us a view of the DC 52 that no other book does.
Yeah.
And Frankenstein and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. also does the same thing.
Yeah.
However, my only beef with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that we have S.H.I.E.L.D., we have the Blackhawks, we have Cadmus, we have everybody in the Red Room and the Black Room.
Yeah.
We have so many covert agencies, Star Labs, we have all these different covert agencies that it's like, why would you have so many? There's the DEO and Batwoman.
Yeah. No,
and there's Waller, whoever Waller's working for. It's like, just pick one, pick a couple.
Yeah.
Pick a couple.
It kind of starts becoming unbelievable in terms of who's funding this.
It really does. And so that's my only beef. But Frankenstein and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I love the art. I love that Ray Palmer's a badass in it.
Yeah.
I love that Ray Palmer's in it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing where they go. Coming up, though.
Well, before we do the because I do want to get to the coming up books. But now that we've talked about our top 10, I have a question for you.
I have time for one.
What is your best book?
Of them all?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like picking your favorite child.
It's a legitimate question, because if you ask me that question, I would say I can't pick one.
No,
and that's actually a good thing.
I can't, like I said, because these are all books, and I'm attached to these books.
Yeah.
Of the 52 titles we started reading, I'm now attached to a good 15 of them.
That's really great.
And that's pretty good.
Like DC. I mean, because I was thinking, what
I can't pick one.
Could I, what's the one book I can't, not read? And there's so many good books right now that I would miss. Maybe not all 10, but I would say 6 that are just like, I need to pick this book up.
There's a point with some of these books, and ones that we're going to be talking about in a minute, where I'll buy a print copy, and then I either can't find it in the house because it's in a stack of comics, and then I go, I'll just download it on the iPad.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good.
Multiple buys.
And I'm trying, and I'm telling people, like I was saying on this corporate gig, I handed Batman to somebody. I'm telling people in the car, go read Batman, go read All-Star Western, check out Swamp Thing and Animal Man, read Earth 2, all that kind of Dial H, read these.
And that's a perfect segue into the next wave.
Okay, before we get into the next wave, I'm gonna give a little thing here.
Yeah.
Justice League Dark is one of my favorite titles. It wasn't previously mentioned. Jeff Lemire took over last week, and the first issue came out, and it's so good.
It's great.
It is so it's so good, and I just cannot. Now that's on that pile of comics. That's like, I need to find out what happened. I want to read this book.
And it's hard because you were like, I want to put Justice League Dark.
I did
in my list but for one issue, and you can't.
You can't because the first arc. I get it. You're setting it up. You're blah 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 blah. Jeff takes this, shifts focus, adds a couple new characters, and gives this whole thing new life.
It gives it direction, I think.
It's so great.
Focus.
Yeah, honestly, that's where you start.
Yeah.
You start. They talk about the first arc like, oh, we had such a tough time.
Yeah.
But you don't need to read that. Check this out.
And I want to make clear, it may sound like we get paid by Jeff Lemire and Scott Snyder and DC Comics to do this. We don't. Really, we don't.
We really don't. Although, but should you decide to do
that, doesn't mean that what Jeff Lemire is doing with all his books right now, they have been great.
They've been amazing.
All of them been great. I've had issues with the art on Frankenstein, but I can't fault Jeff on the art.
No.
And, that's the thing we disagree on where, like I said, I prefer the lines.
It's a different look. I enjoy the different look.
But Jeff's killing it. Scott's killing it. A lot of people are on the top of their game right now, so it's very exciting to be a DC fan.
Okay, so Justice League Dark going forward, definitely a pickup. Tops on my list.
It's a book to look
for sure it is. Getting into the new stuff, since we got the end of the second wave today with the Ravagers, I'm looking at Earth 2 as so exciting.
I cannot wait to read that book. I can't wait to read World Finest.
We gotta weigh in on this.
Yeah.
Because the scuttlebutt is that Alan Scott is going to be the gay character that everybody's talking about online.
Yeah.
That DC's going to have a gay character. Alan Scott's going to be that gay character.
Right.
Didn't Alan Scott have a gay son in the old continuity?
Obsidian.
So
I guess it makes sense.
I guess it makes
runs in the family.
What do I care?
Yeah.
What do I care?
I don't know. Like a lot of this, partly I kind of look at it as a cheap marketing ploy.
Well, it's not like it's a wedding.
Who's having a wedding?
Somebody.
some other company.
Some other company.
I just find like Bunker.
I like Bunker.
Was not announced or kind of like
it was like, oh, by the way, there's going to be a gay
character. He's great.
Bunker's the best. I think the problem is taking an iconic, super golden age character like Alan Scott, and in the new continuity, he is the gay.
Right.
So I think that's the big problem. Who cares?
Honestly, I mean, to me, I was kind of thinking of how that affects, because you start looking, you spend a lot of time thinking about who it could be, and then you realize, why do I care? Why do I care about this? But then you start thinking, it's like, well, could it be Jay Garrick? And then you look at his backstory and
with Joan, and Joan
so
is
much of the history is ingrained with Joan.
And even this Earth 2 version, Joan is involved in his story. So
and I was trying to think of Alan Scott's previous relationships. I couldn't remember any
his
memorable.
The mother of Jade and Obsidian.
Right, but
she's been gone a long time.
I don't know if they ever really. I'm not knowledgeable in terms of that.
I have to get out my encyclopedia.
Right, and I just, I mean, I don't really. I guess we'll see.
I look forward to it.
I don't really care.
Hey, it looks like on the cover of issue 4, Hot Girl's black. Or Egyptian, like I think. But look, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's a new version of these characters.
For sure. I mean, and I'm excited for that as well. All that. You're saying all that stuff about who's gay, who's not. The thing I care most about, Power Girl's boob window.
Yeah, for sure. Where'd that go?
I'm like, yeah, but
Alan Scott's gay. Okay. Oh yeah, great. But where'd that boob window go?
I really missed the boob window. Like that P on her chest looks. I mean, I shouldn't even said that.
No, you shouldn't have.
Let's move on.
All right. But World's Finest, again,
fantastic.
I'm actually reading, in my brain, I read World's Finest like a companion book to Earth 2.
Right, yeah.
Which
I think it's a 1-2 punch.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Dial H.
Yes.
I cannot wait for the next issue. That is my kind of story, my kind of character. And I'm not just saying that because he's a fat, dumpy guy. But I'm sure another person will get a hold of the Dial at some point because that's the way other people got a hold of the Dial in the past of the Dial H for Hero series. But I love the characters that they're coming up with. I love that every week you're guaranteed 2 or 3 new characters you've never seen before, unless he remembers to dial the thing a certain way. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
I do find it interesting. I really enjoyed issue 1. Here's my thing. So we have a bunch of comics coming out, and we didn't talk about GI Combat last time, even though it had come out as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of these titles, I'm unsure of how long they can last in this format.
I don't know.
Now, is DC releasing these titles just to get the trademark out of the way to prove that they've done it? Because, hear me out, right now, in DC Universe Presents, we have the Savage story, which is
Yeah.
Vandal Savage, which is great.
Which is real good.
What I'm suggesting, or perhaps contemplating, or putting it out there, is that maybe Dial H is a 5-episode story in DC Universe Presents. Is it going to last that long, is what I'm saying. And wouldn't it then strengthen that line to say, we're doing crazy different titles? It's just a
but and then they're doing this National Comics thing in July.
Right.
Which I love the idea of, because Jeff Lemire is going to be writing Kid Eternity. There's going to be a Looker. There's going to be Rose and Thorn, Madam X, like all these things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Again, those could have been one-offs in...
Right.
To boost the sales of DC Universe Presents, which I thought DC Universe Presents was going to be. Yeah. But these mini arcs, like the Deadman arc, great. The Challengers arc, poop.
Yeah.
Then Savage looks good, and then there's a Kid Flash one after Savage.
I think so. Like it's just questioning. It's like you put a certain amount. I know that's how you get market share. You just throw as many books out there and see what sticks. But it's like maybe it's better served in a.
Since you brought it up, GI Combat, which we didn't talk about. It was passable, but I have a really hard time when, in the Unknown Soldier, the history of that character is that his origin is unknown. You gave him an origin. Sorry, not on board.
Yeah. You know what? Of the two stories, I actually liked Unknown Soldier.
I did too, but it's fundamentally unsound when you give the guy who doesn't have an origin an origin.
You know what? I really like the Unknown Soldier storyline, but I'm a soldier buff. Like, I actually was really liking Man of War as well until I thought that they lost it.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for... And here's the thing. If Unknown Soldier was the one storyline in it, and I know it's like shooting dinosaurs is, I guess, cool, but I mean, I don't really care.
Put it in Presents.
I'm still waiting for the all-star Western version of a military book, is what I'm saying.
Here's my theory of why the war books don't do very well.
Yeah.
Because there's war on TV every day.
Yeah, maybe.
We're sick of it. We're worn out. It's like war is our owl.
We have war fatigue?
Oh, buddy. A lot of people have war fatigue.
Dude.
And then
history repeats, dude.
I'll let you talk about Batman Inc.
And Batman Inc., you haven't read it.
I'm
still trying to get him to read it. Grant Morrison, back. I told you guys last time that I reviewed Leviathan. The reveal of Talia I thought was a little meh. Made sense. Again, it was a legitimate plot point, but that Talia is the big bad, meh. Who cares? Going forward, Talia has put a hit out on Damian. This issue was amazing. Again, Batman Inc., if it keeps up the quality that it is, this would be in my top 10. This first issue, great. It has, you've probably seen the panel online with Damian next to a cow, his bat cow.
See, that makes me want to read
best frame in all the books I've read this month, which is amazing, really fun. The art, Burnham's art is amazing. Grant Morrison back in form. I knew that this whole Action Comics thing, while it spoiled me a little bit in terms of, not really on board with what they're doing with Superman, but his Batman Inc. is amazing. I still recommend you pick it up.
Actually,
pick it up.
Right now there's I think we're in the middle of the 5-day sale on the digital DC store for all the old Morrison stuff.
Oh, really?
Which is tempting, because I did used to own all the Doom Patrol, and the Invisibles too.
Yeah.
And that's some of my favorite stuff.
So, look at that, pick it up, Batman Inc., amazing. I cannot wait. I mean, right now, to be a Batman fan, I've said it before, it's a great time to be a Batman fan, and with The Dark Knight Rises coming out, I'm counting the days for that.
It's actually a great time to be just a comic book fan, because DC's doing a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They're gonna, if you don't know about this, guys, and there's when issue 13 of all these comics should be coming out, they're doing 0 issues.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting it's almost like that, it was 1 year later?
Yeah.
And we're kind of getting the what happened?
Yeah.
And we're going to get an issue of Origins and what happened and questions being answered. Like anything, I'll say this.
Yeah.
Anything you guys bitch about, how come they didn't show how Batgirl got her walking back? Guess what? They're going to do that in issue 0. So shut up. Sorry, but every time I read online...
Don't worry, guys. I'm completely aware that you're going to read issue 0 and be like,
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean...
We're going to find out how Stella got her groove back in issue 0, guys. In every 0 issue.
Yeah. So, that's it. That's our show this month. Nug and I are now going to Sudbury
Yeah.
In a couple weeks, so I don't know when the next time we're doing our show.
I don't know is either. I've done some research. There is a comic book shop in
There
Sudbury.
is.
I have some ideas that we might do this from set.
Yeah, we're gonna try. The problem is we're on set, so that's gonna be a difficulty. But as soon as we can, we'll be back with what we think of everything. I guess.
And leave us your comments down here.
Yeah.
Your snarky comments. Your
We love all comments.
we do love all the comments because at least it shows people. I love today where I was like, going to Andrew's house to do the review, and somebody retweeted it and wrote, "Finally,
Finally.
ugh, you guys are assholes for making us wait."
It makes us feel wanted, though. That's not bad. Right?
Makes
That's
us feel
good.
wanted, or that we're disappointing people.
Oh.
Sorry we're not doing it weekly, but honestly, when we first started this, you try reading 16 comics in 45 minutes so that you can get the guys out of the store.
You think we're disappointing people?
Sometimes.